Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chef Salim's Recipe YouTube channel. Today I will introduce you to a regional delicacy that has been a part of our tables for centuries, Turkish Etli Ekmek. This delicious food belongs to the cuisine of Konya and is prepared in the form of a long, thin flatbread topped with minced meat. First, specially selected wheat flours are kneaded thoroughly in a dough mixer until they become an elastic and smooth dough. The prepared doughs are rolled by hand into small dough balls. They are placed into resting containers sprinkled with bran and left to ferment for about 1 hour. While the doughs are fermenting, it's time to prepare the filling, the heart of this flavor. The filling for Etli Ekmek is made with fresh ingredients. Tomatoes, green peppers, and onions are finely chopped in an industrial mixer. Then they are thoroughly mixed with freshly ground single-pass beef and beef tail fat. Finally, a suitable amount of salt is added according to taste, and the mixture is stirred until it reaches the right consistency. The fermented dough balls are shaped in the hands of skillful masters who have grown up in bakeries since childhood. No rolling pin is used in this process, nor a dough rod. The dough is opened entirely by hand with expertise. By the end of this process, just before baking, the stretched dough can reach 1.5 meters in length. This long form is the signature of Konya-style Etli Ekmek. The prepared filling is generously spread over the dough. Nearly twice as much meat filling is added compared to a regular minced meat flatbread, so it becomes a satisfying flavor that appeals both to the eyes and the stomach. Yes, up to this point you've seen in detail the traditionally shaped Etli Ekmek before it is stretched and elongated. Now comes a different flavor, cheese bread. I'll also show you how this version is made. Right after that, we'll watch the stretching and elongation process together. And finally, we'll move on to the most exciting part, the baking stage. But don't rush. Every second of this process will create a preview-like sensation on your palate. Your mouth will water and you'll realize how special this taste truly is. Because this crispy and delicious taste is not made from ordinary flour, it's made with specially selected flours, and the result, a true feast of flavor. After the dough is opened with the same skill, a generous amount of melting cheese is added on top. But be careful. To prevent the cheese from overflowing and dripping from the edges while baking, the edges of the dough are carefully folded inward. This way, you get a cheese bread that is both visually elegant and retains its filling. Meanwhile, the oven section is also being prepared. Pine wood is used as firewood because pine burns at high heat and gives a nice aroma. Pine wood is thrown into the oven and the fire is stoked well. This stage is very important because the heat of the stone oven makes the bottom of the bread crispy and the top golden brown. Now it's time to place the breads in the oven. The Etli Ekmek is carefully placed on the oven paddle. Then, it is pulled from both ends with skill and stretched into a long, thin shape. Don't be fooled by how easy it looks. This job truly requires expertise. If someone else tried, the dough would tear or fall apart right at this stage. But with years of experience, the dough is stretched as if it were dancing. The cheese bread is also stretched with the same care and heads towards the oven. Now we've reached the part I'm most curious about. Let's see how these flavors cook inside the stone oven. I'm bringing the camera closer, even zooming in all the way, because I want to show you up close how the cheese melts, how the meat releases its juices, and how the bottom of the dough becomes crispy. Ah, there it is. This is the exact moment. The Etli Ekmek has taken its place in the oven. The light smoke left behind by the burning pine wood gently settles on the bread and creates a unique aroma. Look, how the cheese is bubbling inside. It's almost dancing. That melting, that movement, just watching it warms the soul. Even though there's fire inside the oven, due to the structure of the stone oven, one side of the etli ekmek browns before the other. Therefore, it needs to be carefully turned after about 1 minute. The oven temperature reaches up to 400 degrees Celsius. That's why the cooking time isn't long, because the dough is already very thin when opened. And thanks to this thinness, the dough starts to crisp up immediately. In just 1.5 minutes, it's perfectly baked. Thin, crispy, and generously filled. This is how real Konya-style etli ekmek is made. Yes, this is how etli ekmek is prepared. As you can see, it's a process that requires both skill and patience. Meanwhile, let me share one small but important piece of information. In the past, before meat grinders were widely used, this delicacy used to be made with steak meat finely chopped by hand with 2 knives. This method was called bıçak arası et, meat between knives. In other words, a completely handcrafted, labor-intensive preparation process. We are trying to keep this cultural heritage alive. And there it is. The long meat flatbreads are out of the oven. Now they are quickly sliced and made ready to serve. To experience this flavor at its best, it should be eaten without letting it cool. Because when hot, the combination of meat and dough delivers the crispy texture at its finest. It is traditionally served on wooden plates, and as you know, in such places, various side dishes usually come along. But in this video, our focus is not on the side dishes. Today, I am introducing you only to the real star, etli ekmek. And of course, its cheesy sibling is also here, cheese bread. It also came out of the oven perfectly crispy, just like the etli ekmek. Yes, dear viewers, today we examine step by step how Konya's famous delicacy, etli ekmek, is expertly prepared. The cheese bread was a bonus. I hope you both learned something and got hungry while watching. If you enjoy traditional flavors like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave a comment. See you in the next video. For now, stay well and stay flavorful. I'm Chef Salim. Goodbye.